right? These are great. The bullet's really strong. The colors are very vibrant. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, where I go around the world and the internet looking for art supplies to help you in your job or to make you enjoy the craft just this much more. Now, I know if you've been following the past couple videos, it's all been about inking and inking utensils, and the very last episode we found an inking pen that was actually pretty good. It was a brush pen. It was actually pretty good. So I think it's time to move away from inking and go back to the bread and butter so far of what Is It Worth It was about and start looking again at some markers. And today we are actually doing, it's a mix. They're called Midliners from Zebra. And this has both the bullet and chisel and brush in it. This is the Midliner collection. And so we're gonna be able to test both of the pens that they have in the Midliner set, the brush, the bullet, and the chisel tip. So the chisel is on both, and then the brush and the bullet will be on separate pens. And so we're gonna try these out. I've been seeing these everywhere, and I thought it was a good idea to just try them out. Came in this nice little package, so we're gonna go check them out and see if they are indeed worth it. So come on, let's go check them out. All right, so this collection it's got 30 count plus the box organizer, which is nice, but it gives you a good look at what we're getting, right? Chisel, bullet, oh, and then bullet and brush. Not like what I said was they had both chisels, they both have the bullet, and one has a chisel and one has a brush. So that's interesting. And it just, it goes around. It's got colorful organization, mild translucent ink, double-ended. So this really does look like it is for a lot of calligraphy or bullet journaling. It's going to be interesting to see how vibrant these colors are. And yeah, it seems like a nice set. It seems very colorful, mostly pastel colors. So it should be pretty interesting to see just what we're going to be getting into. Let's see if we can open this up. Oh, open this up. Oop, okay. Here we go. Okay, so we now know that the tape is really good. All right, so there we go. That should be it. I should be able to get it out. Hopefully. Nope, there's another one. So it's very secure, as you can see. Okay, now. There you go. All right, so now, it still doesn't really want to come out. Because see, I'm trying to get it out because it says it's got an organizer box in it. So I'm really curious. Nope, I guess this is just... That's really odd that would be it. Let's see if we take these out. All right, so I guess the box is supposed to stay in there, like you can keep it in there, but I mean, you definitely want to get it out. And as you can see, there's a lot of definitely pastel colors. So they're very light colors, which is nice. And then these are different sizes. So the one with the brush is bigger than the one without the brush, right? So the brush or the pens themselves actually seem pretty nice. It's a very strong plastic. It's got a nice clip, right? So, ooh, man, that's a vibrant color. All right, we got a nice snap. The bullet actually looks really sturdy, right? Posts to the back, it's good. That off. Posts to the other side, right? Got a nice snap, and it indicates where the bullet is. So on both of them, you can see, right, where they have the line, that's so you know where the bullet is, no matter what, whether you have the chisel or the brush. The brush tip, oh wow, that looks really nice. It's a pretty firm brush. It's got a nice tip to it. All right, so these look nice. I mean, these look really good. So they feel nice. Organizational box. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to keep that box inside, right? You're supposed to keep that in there, but we're gonna take it out and test it this way. All right. Alright, so I'm just gonna go with the chisels first. Actually, oh, I don't like that. Oh, man, those are stuck in there. So if you're trying to take them out of this box, like if you're trying to grab one and put the others in there, it's kind of tough. Not even gonna lie, it's kind of tough to get them in there. But alas, so we're gonna try this. Oh, these seem to be water-based. Acid-free. These seem to be, these are water-based. Okay. So, as you all know, with our love of water-based markers and stuff like that, it's very important that you know that it's a water-based product, because otherwise you'll start tearing up your paper, right? So this doesn't seem like it's really meant for a lot of you going over the same thing, right? Because the more you go over it, the more it decides to, see that? The more it decides to tear up the paper, okay? So it's more of a, as we've seen, right? It seems more calligraphy based, which is nice, right? So you can do some really nice lines and stuff like that. The color's really nice. The ink flows really well, right? So I mean, there's a lot to be said. I mean, that bullet is nice, right? So being able to write out your name, right? So bullet journaling with these, I think, is going to be fantastic. The only thing is, if you're trying to, you're trying to pull that and then maybe go to this, right? It doesn't seem like they'll be blending very well, especially since they're water-based. We'll try some water. I'm going to try a watercolor paper to see if that, oh no. Yeah, as soon as we went over it, it started, right? You could instantly feel it. So these are definitely one-shot marks. So if you're actually doing bullet journaling and the like, then these are going to be great, because you just, right? As long as you're like, I'm going to highlight here, I'm going to move that, we'll make this box, or write something in there, to-do list, right? These are great. The bullet's really strong. The colors are very vibrant. Ooh, this one, that's weird. Okay, so there's some weird stuff on this one, right? The little manufacturing error had some weird stuff on it, right? So there you go. As you can tell, sometimes you will get a bum marker no matter what, but it seems like after you kind of work it a little bit, it'll go out, right? But the colors seem to be pretty vibrant. Right? These are, I mean, they're really nice, subdued, more or less pastel colors. The chisel tip does give you a lot of variety again, like most chisel tips. Right, so you can have a lot of different sizes that go along with the chisel tip. And then the brush, like I said, it's just, I mean, the ink flows with it fantastic. So as long as you're trying to do just individual marks, although what I've realized is with the brush, you can go over it. I mean, not the brush, the bullet, you can actually go over it a couple times, right? And it really doesn't tear up the paper. So being able to do more work with the bullet seems like something that these midliners can actually do. The bigger issue comes from when you start using the chisel, where you put down a whole bunch of ink, and if you're trying to make it look like it's flush, right, there you can just right, and just absolutely destroys your paper. But I think that if you know that going in, because I mean, look at those colors. Those colors are really nice. Oh, there we go. Right, those colors are really, really nice. So, right, I do like those colors. Like, they can't complain about these colors at all. They're super nice, you know, kind of mellow, not really a big issue. Yeah. Check out the blue. See, I mean, and the thing is, it comes out real nice, right? And you can go over some, but you can't go over it more than once or twice, right? Just like any other water-based media, you just can't go over it a lot, right? But they seem real good, so that's nice. I mean, I like them. Oops. But they are definitely more subdued pastel colors, right? So these would be great for bullet journaling, and there's a variety of colors here. They're all really nice, although it's really hard to get them all out of the packaging, right? So, but it does come in a gray, right? It's got gray, it's got brown, but even those colors, you know, are all still. Biggest complaint, getting them out of the box, right? But they're nice colors. The ink comes out, it flows real nice. You can do a lot of good writing with these. Absolutely, highlights and stuff like that, or you know, using it like a highlighter would also really work. So let's check out this brush. Ooh. I do enjoy this brush, right? It's a very firm, very firm brush, but it does allow you to, like, it is flexible, so it does bend when you need it, but for the most part is just a very, very sturdy, firm brush, which allows you to control it. You got nice. You make nice little lines, and then you can get your nice feathered lines out. But because it's water-based, like I said, the more you go over, the more that it layers and the more you can see it. So I don't think that these are necessarily meant for art, right? Can you do something with it? Sure, but I don't know if this would not be a go-to marker as far as doing art, mostly because it tears up your paper. Now, with that said, though, let's try some watercolor paper. Let's see how they interact with watercolor paper, see if that's any different. Yeah, see, it just stays on the top of the paper, which is nice, right? So if you're using watercolor paper, you could actually do something with these, right? Because it just, oh, look at that. So it's nice, like when you're using watercolor paper, maybe even a multimedia paper, right? You can go over it a couple times, but the ink does stay on top of the paper, right? Just like a watercolor paper should, right? But as you can see, right, if you keep going over it, it does still even tear up the watercolor paper. So the more ink that you put over it, the more it's going to tear up. But there's more flexibility with the watercolor paper. So if you were trying to do something, but the thing that you have to know though is that every time, like right here, And then right here, every time when we overlap the colors, right, because it's that color on top of another color, it just tears, it really does just tear up the paper. But if you're just trying to go, I want to fill in this, right? So if you're just trying to fill it in, you can get a real nice, you know, flow of color that goes over it. And that's really nice. And then you could probably come in afterwards, right, and add in the details or something if you wanted to, right? Something like that, you know. But still, even here, the more you go over it, the darker and darker it gets, and that's where it would tear up, right? And that, like I said, so if you start going around over it, that's where it tears up the paper. So it is better on watercolor paper as far as trying to get more of an even flow. If you're using the brush, it really, you know, it really lends itself here. It's really nice. And then, of course, with the bullet, right, it works as well. Now, I do have to tell you that the bullet does feel soft. So if you're used to a lot of the bullet tips from markers, from alcohol-based markers, it's not as sturdy, right? So it does lose its shape really, really fast. But like I said, if you're using it to do like bullet journaling or stuff like that, then it's really easy and it's really nice because the ink flows and the colors are great and stuff like that. So there you go. Pretty nice colors. All right, so we just got done reviewing the Zebra Midliners, right? The Zebra Midliner collection. And I can't say that I would be using them for any like artistic endeavors. Like I wouldn't try and do commission work with it. But as far as using it for bullet journaling or just writing, taking notes and stuff like that, doing some calligraphy, these are actually really nice. I really do enjoy the colors that they have. It's not all super in your face saturation. They're very subtle, very nice, but still bold enough to where you're like, I really want to use these colors. So I would definitely recommend these if you are looking for something to do a lot of writing with, right? Bullet journaling, taking notes, stuff like that, where you just want to have some different colors while you're writing. These would be actually really good. But I don't think, like I said, I don't think that these are really what you should be using for artistic creations. You can, of course, you might find a way to make it work, but as we saw with just regular paper and then the watercolor paper, that it doesn't necessarily blend well together, but you can use it. But I would recommend using it for what it seems like it's intended for, which is bullet journaling and taking notes. Well, that would wrap up today's episode of Is It Worth It? I hope that you got something from it and that this series is helpful to you in some way, shape, or form. And if you have a product that you would like us to review, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below and I will add it to the list. Now, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell so you know exactly when we release new content and you would be the first one to know. Thank you guys for all the support that you give us, and I hope to see you at the next video. And yeah, I will see you at the next video.